Okay.
Recording in progress.
Hi everybody. I'm sorry it's such a long time since I have done any YouTube videos, but I've been laying low off YouTube because I don't, all the censorship that's been going on. Anyway, I've been guided today to introduce you my good friend Becky, who goes as Cuddle Fairy, and she's a blogger on Instagram, and she's got a new website with lots of new products, exciting stuff, which I've got a lot of. So I want Becky to introduce herself, and then we can just do a normal chat. So Becky, it's yours.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on. This is my first interview like this about, the spiritual side, so this is really exciting, and I'm glad it's with you. So yeah, my name is Becky. I'm from New York originally, and I live in the west of Ireland now. I started my website, which is cuddlefairy.com, about 7 years ago, and the focus of it is parenting, lifestyle, and positive thinking. And then over the years, I had a spiritual awakening, and last year, I kind of started to come out online with some of my experiences, and was received really warmly, which was great and encouraging. So I've kind of moved along to offer services and also some products, gemstone products and handmade products. And that's the website that you just said that I've kind of relaunched with the shop and services as well as my blog. I still talk about lifestyle things, parenting, and yeah. So that's me.
So what triggered your awakening? Tell me about that, because a lot of starseeds and light workers and normal people who've been following you would want to know what triggered your awakening and what was the awakening mean to you and what's it like for people who wouldn't know necessarily.
Perfect. So I suppose in hindsight, when I look back as a child, I was fairly aware, but I didn't know what I was aware of. So I was afraid a lot. I didn't have vision. Well, I had vision sometimes, actually, and it would scare me. So I was always trying to block things out. I didn't want to see things. I didn't want to feel things. And that carried on even as a young adult, and just kind of tried to keep the door closed on that whole side. And then it was... it was 5 or 6 years ago now. I was at my mom's house and I was just walking down the hall. So like, it doesn't have to be some, special event or some special place that you're in. When all of this just started and my ears were ringing and I was getting this tingling, and it was just a massive reconnection experience that my mom helped me with as well, because she was there and guided me through it. And I guess in the beginning, I didn't come out talking about it because I was trying to just wrap my head around it myself. It wasn't comfortable in the beginning. I still had fear. So it was a process of working through fears, really coming within myself, I guess, and a lot of realizations and healing, and the process over the years before I felt comfortable enough to, talk to friends, family, or my social media following as well at that stage.
So how did you find me? Because we've become really good friends, and I would just like to put that in there.
Absolutely. So last March, March 2020, when everything started kicking off and everything started to change, I just hit the internet. I really wanted to see what people were saying. And ironically, up to March 2020, I wasn't following any spiritual people. For some reason, it never even occurred to me. I know that sounds weird, but it never occurred to me to look for anybody online. Everything that I was learning was through my own team, my own higher self up to that point. And I just felt really called that I had to find somebody who was saying something that was going to resonate. Like, what is really happening? What's underlying everything that I'm seeing happening? Because I knew that there was way more to the story on an energetic level than, what was on the news. So I found Phil Good on Instagram because he's all over, the hashtags with a fairly big following. And he shared you a couple of times. And one of the shares was an interview that you had done on Galactic Connections. Was that the, yeah.
Yeah.
And I listened to that and I was like, I just have to find this lady, she knows. I just felt so connected to you through that. So I think I tracked you down on Instagram then and Patreon. So and it's been a blessing to be friends and connected with you since.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Phil. We are really good friends. He's really busy at the minute doing his thing, like we all been doing our thing. But yeah, so anybody who did contact, I just have to add this, who contacted me and was a patron of mine, because of their, let's say, censorship protocols they have on there, I left before because my team said get off Patreon because they're not very starseed and awakened orientated. They're very politically correct, so I got off there. But you contacted me on Patreon, and I took all my Patreons to my Telegram, and I have a Telegram private group with just my Patreons on there. And I do have a Telegram on there now where I do post quite a lot. If you don't see me on YouTube posting, I post on my Telegram. So, and Becky, your Cuddle Fairy, you're on Telegram as well, because until we get a less censorship platform, I won't be doing a lot of YouTubes, and Becky probably won't either, but we do a lot of our stuff on Telegram. So if you find Becky on Telegram, I'm going to put her link for her website with all her lovely products we're going to talk about in a minute down below in this box. But please come and find me over on Telegram. I do all my posting on there. I do have a chat group on there, and I don't do Patreon or whatever, but you know, I'm sure Becky has as well. I have a donation. It's liara@outlook.com for my PayPal if you want to donate to my work. I will be trying to do some more videos and more interviews and stuff, but until I get guided, like I was guided today, like we were chatting about her website this morning and her lovely products which I've received, which we're going to talk about. My team said just get her on there because I'm useless. I'm scared of doing interviews. I'm not scared, I'm not comfortable, and Becky's never done one, so we're doing this. So I want to talk about your products. So I know I designed your logo for your business card for you. Yes. I did it free of charge because I'm not into all money making things, but I've not got mine at hand, it's right over there. But yeah, so I designed your logo, and then you already had your website and you had your Instagram, and I know that your other Instagram had thousands and thousands of followers and it was hacked, so you had to more or less start again. But you blog on Instagram about lifestyle and children, and you test products, and then you started creeping into your awakening things and you're doing more and more of that. And then you started making the bracelets. I know I said I don't do my bracelets anymore because it's more gifted people like Becky who does. So you sent me a bracelet which my daughter has had. Well, I took it and I left it there and she's been wearing it, but I can see one right in front of you. So you talk about your bracelets, because I love my bracelet and loads of healing codes and what goes into making the bracelet specifically, because I know you do similar to what I did with the crystals, and they're activated. Your crystals I know have been activated with my crystal grids, my Ra skull and stuff. So talk about your bracelet for now, because it's beautiful.
Great,
and then what goes into them.
I'm actually wearing the one you made. I wear that every day, this one here. And this is one that I made then, and this is another one. So it's, I pick gemstones. I go with grade A gemstones, and, every gemstone has its own innate feeling to it and its own innate gifts. Depending on the stone, they could provide protection or clearing, or it could provide balance, help with calm emotions, etc. So what I do with the bracelets is, well, the way it all started was making channeled bracelets. That was the only product I started with last year. So I would tune into somebody's energy, and my team would kind of guide me to what would assist them, what energies would assist them. So they helped me pick the stones. Each stone gets picked and put into the bracelet. And then when the bracelet is finished, I put more energy into it as well. So I'll kind of channel through additional healing energy, and then it sits with my crystals. So it's sitting here on, this is my main crystal, and she has codes from so many. Like you said, I have your codes within her, and codes from America as well, from another kind of strong light coded area, and from all over the place she holds them. So it sits there and it takes on additional light codes as well. And they're all made to size. So it's not, you know, for me, I have a small wrist. So a lot of times if I'd buy a bracelet in a store, it'd be way too big, it'd be flying around. And then some people might have the opposite, where maybe it's a bit too tight on them. So all of mine are custom sized, and I use sterling silver with it as well. So it lasts. And that's just another one. So a lot of them are like this with a variety. Most of them aren't one color. Most of them have a few different stones in them.
I know with mine, when you sent mine, I don't know if you do it for all your bracelets, but you wrote, you sent me a printed page about my bracelet. It's unique to me. You're not going to be selling another one called Liara. And exactly. You say what came through in the channeling and what all the crystals are about. So is that part of the package? And do they need a consultation first to get the bracelet, or can they just order the bracelet?
Thank you. I forgot about the letter. Yes, that is part of it. Every bracelet comes with a letter. So the properties of the stones are on it, any messages, or sometimes it's more of just showing me something, a feeling. I'll write on there. The bracelet's given a unique name, which is for just that bracelet. As you said, no one else gets this. It'll say your name at the top of the letter. All I need is the person's name, and I just tune in from that. So I don't do a consultation. It's not necessarily, but I do offer space on there if people want to say, give colors that they love or dislike, or say an energy that they would like. You know, if someone knows or feels that they would like something incorporated, then I work off that as well.
Yeah, so I know that with my practices, when I was doing bracelets and people wanted bracelets, I would ask their permission to tune into them, because a lot of people tune in and it's very rude. It's like walking in somebody's house without knocking. So by ordering it, do you have something on there to say you give permission to the read it to tune in to get the bracelets, because it's just spiritual protocol. So whether you do that or not, or whether you're going to implement that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. What I have written is the name. I say, if you could give the full name of the recipient, because it helps me to tune in. That's how I've written, but I don't actually have, I suppose by putting your name, it's giving permission. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just like, because we were talking the other night about contracts.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether also anybody watching this, maybe you could put in there, by giving your name, you give me permission to read you.
Good idea, yeah.
Because people maybe like the bracelets and not spiritually awakened and aware and got their guards up, because they need to start, it's just teaching them as well that they've got to, you know, somebody coming onto your site is maybe not awake, who likes the bracelet, and they'll go, well, what's that? Do you mean I've got to give you permission to read me? And it makes them maybe open up a little bit more. That's a good point. Guidance from my team. Yeah, maybe.
Perfect. Yeah, I will do that actually. Yeah, and I have bracelets that I've made that are ready just on the website, like this one I was showing. So for some people, they'll just see a design and they'll want that rather than
so they don't need
one.
to. Yeah.
They don't have to have the tuning in part.
But I do suggest getting the custom ones, because all crystals are brilliant. I mean, you can put any crystal on, but it's just like, it doesn't it's like I could wear green and green does not suit me, and the energy of green doesn't suit me. But you know, if you can put any crystal on you, but it might look nice, but it might not be resonant for you, what you need at the time. Yeah,
definitely.
So I've got to talk about this because I love this, and I do wear this when we're getting absolutely blasted by cosmic rays, solar rays, all sorts of cosmic energies are coming in to upgrade us. And when it gets too much and you need to ground, everybody needs to go outside and ground and do your chakra alignment. I've got videos plugging me a little bit now. I've got 2 videos which I keep saying I need to update, but they're still good in the raw form. But if it gets too much and you're upstairs like me a lot of the time, Becky makes these, which do you tune these in to people as well? Because I know you made me this one, but it just, honestly, when I've got a really bad headache or really high energy downloads coming in, this just basically, they go into the crystal rather than into me, and they store in the crystal until I've cleared the energy that I've already got coming in. And then when the energy is shifted, it's almost like I don't know, an extra hard drive.
Oh, cool.
That's how I use it as an extra hard drive. So I've got all this energy coming in. I can't store anything more in my containment field. So it's just like an extra hard drive. So it goes into there until I've got time to process it so I don't miss any of the codes coming in. That's how I use it. So I just go a bit closer. But it's absolutely brilliant. And I also, because I put this in my car when I'm driving on my window. So when I'm driving, I'm doing grid work and it picks up codes and clears things. So when I come home, that's how I use this for grid work and energy and stuff. So tell me about this and what other stones you do. So
well, that is actually not on my website, but if anyone watching feels called,
oh,
feel free
sorry.
to email me. No, it's something that I think will be at some point. So this might be the prompt needed. So that one was custom for you. I was just basically tapped, we'll make that for Annette. And I made a couple others. So that is Brazilian amethyst on there. So it's the real raw natural amethyst.
And these
and then
beads.
I think a strawberry quartz and amethyst
And
around there. Yeah. And then I have the wooden beads on the end pieces. But yeah, that was guided, the particular beads and everything for you. So I'm so pleased to hear that it's
wrapped in crystal
too.
as well. It's wrapped in silver as well.
Yeah, it's sterling silver wire.
Yeah, I think maybe you should put these on there because my team particularly said don't forget to grab your that to show them, because
there you go.
We are getting these really, I mean, I know you've been getting these downloads, but when it's normal downloads we're getting, you can process the information. It's just like the way the internet is. It's like you getting your normal data information to and from the servers on your internet, and all of a sudden they're doing an update and you're getting super high speed broadband coming in, and your computer can't cope with it, with all the information. But you can't lose the information because this data stream's coming in straight away, and you're going to miss all the updates. So this is what I use this for. So I'm getting all the data stream, and anything extra goes on my third eye here, and I call it into my crystal. And this can hold more information than your body can. So you do that, and then I sleep with this under my pillow to get the information back.
Perfect.
So that's what amazing. I do with that. So it's a hard drive.
Good.
An extra hard drive. That's how I use that. So, and I want to talk about your beautiful Lemurian crystals. This is mine. I'm the guardian of this one, and it does my grid work with me. It called to me. So Becky had a lot of Lemurian crystals. I'll let you talk about the story of your hunt for Lemurians. So you talk about that now.
Okay.
About how you got these crystals.
Yeah, so I felt called to Lemurian crystals years ago, and it's been an ongoing process of trying to get ones. I just felt I had to get it from Brazil myself. I couldn't go and buy it from, say, a shop that has already sourced it. And it wasn't easy. That's how we were talking about that this morning. I must have contacted somewhere between 50 and 100 websites in Brazil, and it was one problem or another. Either they didn't ship to Ireland or one thing or another anyway. And I eventually found one that's amazing, and they would show me pictures on WhatsApp. So I got to kind of select the Lemurians, and I don't know how many did I have. Must have been maybe 18 or so. And then when they arrived, I felt like, guardian is the right word. I really felt a guardian over them. And I offered them to the group Annette was talking about earlier, her Telegram group that's like a Patreon. And, so many people felt called to them and, handpicked them. And I have 2 left from that batch. And this batch was really special because they joined us was it the solstice, I think, in the summer, and a few other ceremonies and big energetic events. So I just put them on the website. This is one of them here, actually. So if anyone doesn't know about the Lemurian quartz, they have, I don't know if you can see when I do that, but there's lines within it, and some people call it like a ladder, and it holds the coding within the crystal.
The recorder crystal, that one is if you're doing a lot of grid work, or you're called to do grid work and you maybe don't know what a grid worker is, that is a brilliant one to do. I mean, that's a powerful one. So
yeah, yeah, the two that are left, second one is up here as well, are also beautiful stones, and straight from Brazil. That's the thing about them. There was no in between with them. Yeah.
So I love mine because when you brought them, you would have given them to me. You would have given it to me, but
I was, yeah.
The way it works with these is it's an energetic exchange. So I gave you the energy exchange as physical money or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's just so that the crystal knows that you've not sacrifices, you've made an energetic exchange, so you really want it. And it called to me. You had a lot, and this one called to me.
Yeah.
But I use this one for the solstice grid work that I've been doing, and when I use this all the time to do my grid work, and I put it next to Ra, so it's got all my codes in there now, and I do use it in tandem with this. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll double. One's recording, one's clearing.
Yeah, that gave me all the shivers. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I tie it onto there like that, and I do these grid work, so it's like almost like a gun. So,
Yeah.
so I'll hold it in my hand, and it's like record, clear, record, clear, record, clear, and it's 2-in-1 shot. That's how I use mine. And if you want to watch any of my grid work videos, I don't know whether I've done one. I've got a few there where I talk about grid work, but how do you use your particular ones, Becky, that you do? What do you do? Do you do
Yeah,
grid
well, this
work,
is
healing?
the second one. I'll just show real quick that's available. I am going to get more of them. So this is my one. It's like, as we were talking about earlier. Yeah, it's
a heart crystal, that one.
It's
definitely.
a heart. I saw this and I had to have it. It was just calling, like Annette said. It just felt that it will call you. If it's calling you through the screen, it's calling you. And so it just like that, it comes with me. I sit at the river. That's where I kind of do most of my grid work and connecting and working with the earth. And it comes with me for all of that as well. And it works with my other stone here when I light code all my products as well. So it's giving the heart energy.
I want to talk about the coding that you've got. You've got my Ra, and if people don't know about my Ra, I've got a big crystal skull, which was given to me, and that is sat next to Mitchell Hedges' skull with Anna when Anna Mitchell Hedges was alive, the true keeper of the skull, not the one who's got it now. And she gave permission for my skull to be sat there because my friend stayed with her for 2 weeks, and she gave permission, and she personally activated my skull next to the skull. So I've got that skull, and I charge all my crystals, everything that I've got with it, and I sent my bracelet overcharged with my crystal skull codes.
Yes.
And my Giza crystal skull, Giza crystals as well, and I sent them over to you, so you put those codes in there. But your mum's got a crystal skull as well. I believe it. It's also coded into there, which I was getting into.
It is. Yes. Yeah, and hers, I think it was Max was the name of the skull in the US, which is also like Ra, one of the or the Mitchell Hedges skulls, one of the main skulls. So that the light codes have all got into there as well. In addition with some other ones, Atlantis codes and Lemurian codes. So yeah, there's loads and loads from really around the earth, amazingly.
And that island codes as well that I'm getting goosebumps, the Irish codes that you're getting directly, because when you hold in that heart stone and you're sitting by your river and you're clearing the ley lines of Ireland, you're pulling in all the codes from from Ireland itself.
Yeah.
And that's going into there. So every crystal that you put on there, and you intend for the upload into the crystals, the people who are receiving those codes aren't just getting crystals, they're getting codes from all around the planet. I mean, with what's going on in the world at the minute, light workers and starseeds can't necessarily go to these sacred sites to get the codes to upgrade themselves. I mean, you only can get so much, like I'm getting codes right now through the screen, but to actually receive a bracelet, I mean, it's like when you receive my bracelet, you got codes, they go into your system, you can charge all your crystals up with them, and there is no limit to how many codes your crystals can pick up. So if you want to get all your soul pieces, which we were talking about the other night, about soul piece going around the planet, I know Ryan from Team Light and unitethecollective.com. He's been all around the planet collecting codes and soul pieces, and I've done a lot around the world as well. I've planted crystals and I've collected codes, and I put them all. That's what recording crystals are for. You record all the codes because you can't necessarily hold all that at time. But yeah, so you've got all that, which makes your crystals, the Lemurians, and your bracelets, and any crystal that's sat near it charged up with that. So they're very powerful. So what's in that little purple bag? I've not seen that before. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's some of my cards. It's holding up this is the light catcher, which is just another.
Oh, I like.
It's one of the new products.
That's nice. I wouldn't mind one of them, but a smaller version, to hang on my car window, my car mirror. Because I don't know if everybody like me, it's silly. My car, when I'm not necessarily physically walking, I'll drive places. I use this one, but I wouldn't mind that. Put in my car, and so when I'm driving it, I'm picking up codes and doing gridwork as I'm driving.
Yeah,
and I like your key rings as well.
Yeah, thank you. I have a couple of designs of them as well. That's the sunflower.
Yeah, one. I might be ordering. Can you custom make that so it's a little bit shorter? That other one.
I can. Yeah, anything is available. Like, most of the orders that I get, there's interaction first. You can message me on Instagram, email, whatever works for you. So there usually is. It's usually there's a connection there. I will get the odd one that just comes out of nowhere as well. Just someone finds you, but yeah, anything can be custom done.
Before everybody else started coming online, like you and everybody, it's like me and Ryan, we were like holding and a few of the first favors were holding the fort, going around, and we were like doing grid work, we were making the crystals, tools, and we were doing all that. And now we can sit back and relax a little bit because there's more people like yourself. I don't have to make bracelets anymore. I can give you the codes, and that's your thing. That's what you do. And the card readings, I used to do them, but I don't do them anymore because I do my grid work. I'm not doing all that. So what card readings and what cards do you use when you're doing your readings?
I have a lot of packs. That's what I've accumulated. The main ones that I use, I have 2 Kyle Gray ones. One is Angel and Ancestor, and I can't remember what the other one is called. It's actually the one that's in here. And then I use, oh man, it's this kind of pack. The people who do cards will probably recognize, and they're really pretty.
Go on, pull me a card kind of so people can get a quick example of your work. Perfect. Because how long does the session when they want a card reading? What else is involved in your card readings? I'll let you.
So I'll do. So there's a few options. One is a half hour, one is an hour, and I offer it via email or via video or just phone. And people just instinctively know which one resonates. Some people love email because they don't really feel comfortable, and they like to have it typed. Some people like the interaction of video, like this, and some people don't really feel comfortable with video. So I offer it in those 3 ways. Half hour or hour. And then I also have another one that's a new offering that's called Life Path Reading, and I use a little bit of astrology with that. So someone can give me their birthday and time, and I do the astrology chart. And with that, you can kind of pinpoint certain purposes within life, depending on when you were born, whether it be family or career, or maybe even just random things that'll come up for people that comes up as a purpose. And then, they're thinking in their life, this was just a distraction, but it actually is in their chart. It can bring another understanding. And then, so I prepare the chart in advance, and then we do cards to kind of add more to the chart, get more details. So yeah, that's all the all the reading options.
Yeah, just pick one that falls. That one there that's sticking out.
Yeah. It's Holy Love for You.
Oh, I love that card.
Isn't it
so
beautiful?
What
These
do you
are
do when you
beautiful
read?
Pack.
Can you like me do intuitive as well? What you get with the card when that comes in?
I don't use the books. That's why when you're asking me the names, Angel and Ancestor is the only one I can remember. The other 2 packs I can't remember what they're called. So like I'm not as tuned in because I'm talking on the
yeah, I know,
but
but it's just that I'm just
yeah.
saying you do because when I do card readings, we do them quite a lot when we do our Zoom chats as a group, and we're all taking turns pulling cards for each other, and it's just helping us grow as a community. So
Definitely.
yeah, you're intuitive what information you get in with that card. I mean, I could pull the same card for everybody, but you get a different message for everybody.
Exactly. That's how I do it as well. And sometimes it'll be just something within the picture that'll stand out for one person more than another, or a color. Do you know what? When I saw this for you, it was just this feeling of being wrapped in love. That was the message for you.
And it's also, if you're looking at that card and look at my imagery of all my stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like
it's got your colors. Yeah.
It's got my colors. It's got my symbol of the wings and the stuff. So
it does.
I'm getting girl spots. So yeah, and your website, you relaunched it and you redid your website. So it's not just your blog, but there is your blog still on there, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was a blog that I had created, and I did all the website work myself. So it was very, basic. And there was the opportunity here actually to get a grant last year. They were giving people who had a website but wanted to add a shop, which was just exactly me. So it just was, perfect timing. And I was able to actually hire a web designer then. So she's made it, beautiful, and the colors matching, and the functionality is really good. And, it's a proper shop and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the blog is still on there as well. So yeah, I kept, and you and I talked about that last year, because I was conflicted if I should have a new website or keep everything in one place. I'm glad I kept it all in one place. It feels better.
Yeah, because I'm seeing that, people that have been following you as a blogger, children and their mums and stuff, maybe are waking up, or they've got children that are waking up, and it helps. They don't quite know. So it's like you've already got that audience, and they'll be waking up. The children are asking them questions, and they go, "Oh, Becky," and a bit more, and you're helping so many people. But I know that talking about children, we might not go into it too much, because I know that YouTube does a lot of censoring and stuff, but you're homeschooling, aren't you? So tell me about the process. And we were talking about maybe for light workers and starseeds who have children who maybe want to homeschool and stuff because of what's going on in the world at the minute. So how's that going with the homeschooling?
Yeah, it's going good. So, here, like I think most countries, they shut all the schools back in March 2020. And in Ireland, they didn't reopen until September 2020. So it was the full rest of the school year was done via email from the teachers. So I have 3 kids. One of them was dying to get back to school. He wanted no part of this. And the other 2 loved being at home. They just loved it. And they were saying they didn't want to go back to school, and could they stay home? And I really didn't know an answer. And I kind of was sloughing them off a little bit, and they kept asking. And I said, look, I'll look into it and we'll see. And as it turns out, Ireland has a fairly generous homeschool policy compared to some other countries in Europe. But you have to look, every country has its own rules. So we recently had the interview, which went really well. So yeah, it's looking good for us to be able to keep homeschooling. You have the option here to teach. I mean, you need to have the core, and but you can have, you can explore the way the children wants to. You don't have to follow the curriculum here. So it's a great thing. I was saying last year we did sacred geometry. I bought one of these crystal courses online that we're going to do this year. So I mean, you can do so much beyond what you would do in the school system.
Yeah, so you got kids, and you've got you're a starseed or light worker, and you've got kids that are awake, and you maybe look into it in your area. And obviously you've got to do like the core, that what the country requires you to do, but then you can keep them awake. And as we were talking the other night, because the Harry Potter School of Magic classroom today, and teaching them how to do telepathy and playing hide and seek with that, and astral travel, and there's all sorts of things you can explore. I mean, grid work with your kids, you go on a woodland walk and you take the crystals and you let the kids guide you. And then there was a thing last year I sort of said, have a 1 day a week or 1 day a month, whatever, where the kids become the teacher and will teach you, and you're the student, and let them see, because what they want to teach you about is really what they're interested in. It helps you explore, and it's not so much about the schooling, it's more about the soul, it helps them find their life purpose before the school shuts it down, because you're the school now. So
exactly.
How did that go last year when you let the kids be the teacher for the day?
Yeah, it was really good. They both loved it, and they both did, like, we didn't do any math or reading or anything like that on those days. We did art, and we did some stretches, and all, like, they really pulled some interesting things, and they even got into connecting and what I would call astral travel, which they didn't really know what it was, but they were teaching that. And it's amazing what children are doing that they're not saying, or knowing how to verbalize it. So by giving them that chance, they really, showed a lot, and loved it.
So there's lots to do with homeschooling. I said the other night, I wish that I was homeschooled, but my mum and dad wouldn't have taught me what I wanted. I wish I could homeschool myself, but it's just like, now I'm an adult. I hated school. I only liked art and biology. I wasn't interested in anything else. But since I've been an adult, I've gone to Arts Institute. I've done my art. I went to Open University. I'm halfway through my bachelor's degree. I've got enough of my degree to teach science to children. I've got enough of my degree, but I wanted to do my bachelor's. I think I'm 30 points away from getting my bachelor's degree, but I always stop right near the end because I don't necessarily want the degree. I just want to explore what I wanted. So I did oceanography, astronomy, chemistry, physics, biology, quantum physics. I learned everything that I was passionate about, and it wasn't like school, because I did it online, Open University. They give you a module. I did 6 months one of sciences, and then quantum physics 3 months, and I'm not bothered about the degree. I'm just absorbing all the knowledge. I'm doing it all at once, and learning should be fun. Learning should be about what you want to explore in your life. I might still want to learn about it. That's why I like chatting to you, because we're all teaching and learning from each other, and it's like, I've got my particular skills, you've got yours, and it's just nice to swap our information around. But
definitely.
So interesting. Anyway, I think we're gonna cut this short a little bit, because I want to do another one, talk about, and maybe not so much your website, but I wanted to do this to launch your website.
Oh, thank you.
And maybe do another interview in a week or two, and we'll talk about other stuff, because you're very highly intuitive, and I don't want it to be just all about your products. I want it to be more about your spiritual work and other stuff like that. So
okay, great.
And
Thank you.
I promise people that are watching, come and find me on my Telegram. I will post my Telegram and in there, and I've got a group chat in there, and we can chat in there if you want to communicate with me. But we've got our private chat group, and nobody else is going to be coming in that, because that's spiritual teachers, that like a staff room. So anyway, I'm going to put Becky's website below in the description. I'll put my Telegram in there, and any information that anything else is going in there. So I'm going to cut that short. Is that okay, Becky? Is there anything else?
Yeah, that's great.
Words that you want to say to anybody? And thank you for this interview. I know that it's your first one.
Yeah, but I feel very comfortable because it's you, so it's great. And thank you for having me. I think you covered everything. Yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to doing it again.
Yes, and we'll be premiering this tonight. Hopefully we'll all be in the chat and chatting.
Yes.
But
yeah, thank you.
Anyway, thank you.
All right.
Bye.